Hello, welcome to the full moon lunar eclipse that happened on September 7th of 2025. It all comes down to you. There's only a willingness to step into creation after creation after creation after creation without an end. The rulership of this full moon eclipse I find really fun, and it makes me come to a metaphor of making lemonade and selling lemonade. Kind of the idea that the juice is actually worth the squeeze when life gives you lemons. Well, I think we have lemons at this lunar eclipse. And I think we also have all the tools we need to make lemonade. Specifically, it's the intention to make lemonade, and not only to make lemonade, but to sell the lemonade, which just means you don't just make something, you know why you're making it, you know what it's for. So let me walk you through what I think. The full moon is in Pisces, and that's ruled in a modern sense by the planet Neptune, which is currently still in the sign of Aries. Neptune in Aries is all about what your truth is. And to be clear, I think the full moon itself is the manifestation of this lemonade in this metaphor. And then I think that Neptune is just the sugar. You know, you need something to make it desirable and sweet and actually enjoyable. You know, not to say bitter lemon isn't enjoyable on its own, right? But this is the idea of the sweetness of life, just kind of on its own. And it's very personal to you in Aries, you know, right? The truth is subjective with an intention. If you don't have an intention around the truth, you can find the truth anywhere. And I think that perspective is a metaphysical abyss that is valid as an exploration. But if we want to continue living within our body and continue creating possibility, we have to have intention. So the ruler of this planet Neptune, which is kind of that sugar of the truth of ourselves, kind of the essence in a way. The ruler of Aries right now is Mars, and it's in the sign of Libra. And this is about other people. So just because your truth is subjective to you doesn't mean right now that you don't care about what other people have to say. In fact, other people are the reason you're doing this. There's some motivating specific relationship in your life here with Mars in Libra ruling the Neptune in Aries. Now, if we take that one step down, Mars in Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus right now is in Leo. Venus in Leo to me is the lemon. It's the actual tangible value, objective kind of object value that we are or that we have. Something that we've actually created that we are proud of. We are proud to exchange that with someone else, with the Mars. So that's kind of the lemon. And in the metaphor, I do think that Mars is motivation for the squeeze, or right? But you have a lemon, you need to do something with it. It's time to make lemonade. So that relationship is motivation, the energy that's moving us. And then we go one step ahead and see Venus is ruled by the sun in Virgo right now, that is attention. It's creativity, but it's specificity and it's discernment. And so that's that glass that we need to fill the cup up with, right? We need to put the lemonade in something. We need an intention. And I think that sun in Virgo is kind of the container. It's a specific tool for our personal will to kind of be merged with some higher truth that's kind of becoming magically braided in with us right now. So that sun in Virgo is ruled by Mercury in Virgo, and that's where the rulership terminates, because Mercury is the ruler of Virgo, and Mercury in Virgo, I think that might be the squeeze. It's the essence of the intention to say, this is exactly what I'm doing. Here's how I'm going to maneuver. Here's what it's called. Here's the price. Here's the exchange. Here's the process. It's the squeeze. That Mercury in Virgo is incredibly discerning. And interestingly enough, once we've taken that rulership all the way down, Mercury in Virgo actually rules the full moon in Pisces. So my concluding statement here is simply that this recognition, the full illumination of the limitlessness of your creative power is not a sea to drown in. It is a truth that has been true, that we are finally bringing into our specific conscious awareness so that we can actually be a tool, a very specific tool with our very specific Venus creation, with our very specific intention to do with that creation. So this is not like a fluffy moon. There are actionables happening here. The last thing I didn't say is I think Jupiter being in trine to this full moon, that's the water. Right? We need that water to mix in with all of this to make it feel refreshing and nourishing and even abundant. You know what I mean? So I think we have all the pieces we need to make this lemonade, and I think that it being an eclipse to me also reflects that it is destined, kind of is what it is, and on the North Node it's only going to keep going. So I hope you have a wonderful eclipse, and I want to know what lemonade you're making. So that's all. Bye for now.